Today, I need to share something with you that might sting just a little bit, but it's something that I wish someone had told me many years ago when I purchased my first home. If you only have one savings account and you think that you're ready to buy a house, guess what? You're not ready. I know that's a little harsh, but stick with me here because by the time we get to the end of this video, you're going to understand why separating money into at least three different buckets is absolutely crucial before you sign on that dotted line. And more importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up so you can actually be ready when the time comes. So, hey everyone, I'm Sabriyah Callis, your partner in finding and funding your new home, helping renters and first time home buyers turn their dream of home ownership into reality. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit and subscribe and tap that bell down below because every week I share some real world home ownership tips, Houston market insights, and inspiration to help you dream it, affirm it, and own it. Let's dive in. So, here's what usually happens. You've been saving diligently months or even a couple of years. Maybe you've got 20, 30, or even $50,000 sitting in your savings account. You look at that number and you think to yourself, that's enough for a down payment on a $250,000 house. I'm ready. But here's the problem, that number is lying to you. See, when all your money is pooled together into one account, your brain does this thing where it sees that total and it feels wealthy. But that pile of money isn't just for your down payment, it's also your safety net, it's your emergency fund. And here's what you probably haven't calculated yet, it also needs to cover your closing costs. Let me tell you what happened to a friend of mine. A little bit of story time right now. She had $40,000 saved up. She found a house for $280,000. Did the math on her 10% down payment, which was $28,000, and she felt confident. She thought she had $12,000 left over as a cushion. Then came the closing costs, $8,500. Then her car needed a $1,200 repair 2 weeks after moving in. Then the water heater died in about month number 3, cost $1,800 for a replacement. Suddenly, that $12,000 cushion became $700 in her account. She was house poor, stressed, and one emergency away from credit card debt. And this happens to so many first time home buyers because they see that one big number instead of three separate jobs that the money has to do. All right, so let's break down why you need three separate accounts and what each one of those accounts are going to be used for. Bucket number one is going to be for your down payment fund. This is the money that's going to go directly towards purchasing your home. Depending on your loan type, this can be anywhere from 3% to 20% of the purchase price. So let's say you're buying a $300,000 home with a conventional loan and you want to put down 10%. That's $30,000 right there. This money should be in a high yield savings account where it's safe, liquid, and earning some interest while you're house hunting. This is not money that you touch for anything else. I'm talking about not for a vacation, not for a good deal on a car, nothing. It has one job, down payment only. Bucket number two is for your closing costs fund. And this is where most people get caught off guard. Closing costs typically run anywhere from 2 to 5% of your home's purchase price. On that same $300,000 home, you're looking at about $6,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. What's included in closing costs? These are going to be things like origination fees, appraisal fees, title insurance, escrow fees, property taxes, homeowners insurance, and various other charges. Some of these you can negotiate or shop around for, but you still need to have this cash available. And guess what? This money is due at closing. You can't make payments on it. It's not rolled into your mortgage. You need to have it on hand, ready to transfer. This should also be in a separate high yield savings account, clearly labeled, so you're not tempted to dip into it. Again, bucket number two is going to be for closing costs. Bucket number three is your emergency fund. This is your financial foundation and it stays intact well after you buy the house. Financial experts, they do recommend having 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. But as a homeowner, I push you toward that 6 month end of that range or even a little bit more. Why? Because now you're responsible for everything: the roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVA system. Your landlord isn't going to fix anything anymore. So you are that guy. Keep this in mind. The average homeowner spends between 1% and 4% of their home's value annually on maintenance and repairs. So for that $300,000 home, that could be anywhere from $3,000 to $12,000 per year. Some years you'll spend nothing, other years you'll be replacing a roof. Your emergency fund should cover at least 6 months of your mortgage payment, your utilities, the insurance, property taxes, and regular living expenses. And it should never be touched for your down payment or your closing costs. Again, bucket number 3 is going to be for that emergency. Let's put this all together with a real world example. So we're looking at that $300,000 home for you to purchase. Here's what you're going to actually need to save. The down payment 10% is going to be 30,000. Closing costs 3.5% average would be about 10,500. The emergency fund 6 months of expenses, let's say that new mortgage with insurance, taxes will be about $2,200 per month, and your other living expenses are roughly $2,000 per month. That's $4,200 times 6, equaling 25,200. The total needed is 65,700. Now, if you only had that $40,000 in one savings account, you'll be about $25,000 short. Even though your down payment alone is only 30,000, this is why so many people get into trouble. They hit their down payment number and they think they're done saving. But here's the good news. Once you understand this framework, you can create a clear roadmap. You know exactly how much you need, and you can track your progress towards each individual goal. Here's how to set this up practically. Step 1, open 3 separate high yield saving accounts. Many banks let you nickname these accounts. You can use names like house down payment, closing costs. Real simple, y'all. Emergency fund. Step 2, calculate your specific numbers based on your target home price and your monthly expenses. Step 3, set up automatic transfers to each of those accounts, even if it's just $100 to one and $50 to another, automated, so you're making progress without even thinking about it. Step 4, as you get closer to buying, keep those accounts topped off, right? If you have to dip into your emergency fund before closing, rebuild it before you start house hunting. Let me address some questions that I know that you might be thinking about right now. First one, can I just keep it all in one account and mentally separate it? Technically, yes, but behaviorally, that's really hard when you see $60,000 in one account and your friend invites you on a $3,000 trip. Guess what? Your brain doesn't automatically subtract that from the closing costs bucket. So, separate accounts create real psychological barriers that help you preserve each fund for its intended purpose. Second question, what if I find a house before I've saved all 3 amounts? Then, guess what? You're not ready yet, and that's okay. This might mean that you need to adjust your timeline or your target home price. It's far better to wait 6 more months and be financially secure than to buy now and be stressed for years to come. What about down payment assistance programs or gifts from family? These are great tools that can help with buckets number 1 and 2, but they don't really eliminate the need for bucket number 3. Your emergency fund is yours to maintain regardless of the help that you receive with the down payment. So if you're getting assistance, that's awesome. It just means that you either buy sooner or you buy more house while still maintaining your safety net. Another question, should these be in high yield savings or invested? For buckets number 1 and 2, the down payment and the closing costs, high yield saving accounts are the best because you can bet on it. If you're planning to buy within the next 2 years, you need this money to be safe and accessible. For bucket number 3, your emergency fund, High yield savings is also an ideal because emergencies don't wait for the market to recover. So if you're more than 3 to 5 years away from buying, you might consider investing your down payment fund more aggressively, but that's a personal decision based on your risk tolerance and your time. Look, I know this might feel overwhelming. Maybe you thought you were close to buying that house and now you're realizing that you need to save more. That can be discouraging. Listen, nobody wants to wait. But here's what I want you to know: being properly prepared doesn't just help you buy a house, it helps you to keep that house and to actually enjoy living in it. The worst feeling in the world is finally getting your dream home and then spending every night stressed about money, wondering if you can afford the next repair. The three account system isn't about making home ownership harder, it's about making home ownership sustainable and actually enjoyable. So take some time this week to calculate your three numbers, open up those separate accounts if you haven't already, and make a plan. You've got this. Listen, if you found this video to be helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more real talk, personal finance, and home buying content. Drop a comment below and let me know, how many savings accounts do you currently have? Are you team one account or team multiple accounts? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.